For better accessibility when removing and installing the high-pressure pump, the battery, after being disconnected, is removed together with the battery tray. To remove the intake manifold, detach the wiring trough from the intake manifold. For further removal of the wiring harness, release and remove the 4 injector wiring harness plugs. Undo the bolts and clips on the wiring harness bracket. Unlock and remove the wiring harness plug for the exhaust gas temperature sensor, the fuel rail pressure sensor, the manifold absolute pressure sensor and the glow plugs, and the camshaft position sensor and intake manifold actuator. Undo the clips and place the wiring harness as far as possible behind the intake manifold. On the gear unit side, unclip the coolant hose. Unlock and remove the wiring harness plug of the EGR vacuum solenoid valve and the heated oxygen sensor of the exhaust pressure differential sensor and the EGR valve. Undo the fastening bolt of the charge air pipe and remove the pipe from the throttle body. Remove the vacuum line. Undo both bolts in the EGR cooler and the intake manifold to allow the EGR pipe and the gasket to be removed. Undo the 4 bolts of the bracket on the intake manifold and EGR cooler and remove the bracket. Remove the fuel return pipe from the fuel rail, known as the common rail, and remove the return pipe bracket from the intake manifold. On the common rail, remove the insulator and place a cloth beneath it to catch any emerging fuel. Then undo the high-pressure line from the common rail. Undo the bolt on the bracket for the high-pressure line. From below, undo the high-pressure line from the high-pressure pump. Remove the high-pressure line from above. Close the connections with suitable caps. Undo the 2 bolts in the high-pressure line bracket. Disconnect the wiring harness plug directly at the fuel rail pressure sensor and move the bracket back. A mirror will help you to undo the fastening bolts for the intake manifold. Follow the sequence specified in the service literature. Remove the intake manifold.